Short ball, Brabham moves back and falls scarcely past square leg. So this is tricky.
Victory to the Australians by 8 wickets.
He's got him! Got him! Out! He's got two! Beautifully caught! He's done it. That is an excellent 100. The last ball, can you believe that?
Hello everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to the first innings of day one here in the Backyard Test. We're starting off with some pre-game entertainment, statistics, and just a show around the ground and the environment that we will be taking place here today for the first test. Obviously, commentators in hand, Ryder Henchy, and unfortunately, alongside me, Matthew Milburn has fallen sick, so he will not be here today, but he will be here for the upcoming events. Henchy is opening for Australia, age 15, games 9, 318 runs to his name, 21 wickets as well taken, and his best is 64 not out off 5 overs. So Henchy really experienced in this backyard setting, as obviously across the years he's been making lots of videos in the backyard and even some front yard cricket as well, and obviously saw him feature a few weeks ago in the T20 Backyard YouTubers Test. And coming in for the West Indies is Matthew Milburn, age 16, and it is also his debut. 0 games, 0 runs, 0 wickets, and his best is 0. So hoping to get off the mark early today is Milburn as we head to Ryder Henchy for the pitch report. Down here at the RCG for Test 1 of this series. As you can see here, the deck is looking pretty nice. We cut into a bit of a path midway through the pitch, but then getting into the most important stuff here down at the batter's end. Look, the pitch is really nice here, really nice condition, really nice and sandy pitch. It shouldn't be skidding too much. If anything, maybe a little bit of bounce here. It's a little bit uneven, but this all the way through, it'll be a picture perfect pitch. However, we move down to the batter's crease, and we can see a little bit of the end in the solid grass and the turf. So it more comes into a bit of a dirt slash a bit of extra dry grass cuttings. So look, yesterday's pitch was absolutely on point, but for the batter's choice, look, I don't think this is going to be the pitch that you want to be batting on. So I feel like it's a bit of a bowler's pitch, and the bowler will definitely get the upper hand in this test. Cheers for that, Henchy. Back up to us now for some more pre-game statistics. Match information, weather 22 degrees, overcast as you can see, the sun isn't out. Pretty ideal conditions. Location, the RCG for this 20-over test. And obviously commentators, Matthew Milburn unable to join us. One last look at the lineups. Henchy real experienced in this setting. Obviously the backyard and in front of the camera, and Milburn on debut hoping to make a name for himself as we get down for the bat flip now at ground level. As the two skippers shake hands, the West Indies will be flipping, and Australia do win the toss as they called flats, and having a bit of an inspection of the pitch behind them, and the Aussies will elect to have a bowl first after winning the toss and looking at the pitch, which isn't in the greatest condition, as we see the West Indies skipper Matthew Milburn on debut run onto the ground here for the first innings on day one. Obviously unexperienced at the crease. He's got a decent form and batting style on him. Henchy is obviously Henchy's game to lose today, as he's just got the upper hand in experience in games, in wickets, in absolutely every aspect. However, not bad form shown by Milburn as he warms up and gets middle stump. However, not much experience up his sleeve, whether that be in the backyard or just club cricket itself. So Henchy will be obviously opening the bowling for the Aussies, and Milburn at the crease for the West Indies. 20 overs starting now. We are underway here at the RCG. Ryder Henchy to Milburn. Milburn nice and defensive on the first ball. So doesn't want to lose a wicket early here. Second ball. Once again, very defensive. Just trying to get off the mark nice and slowly here as he just blocks that. Doesn't want to get any early outs. 2 dots to start off the innings, and that will trickle away for Milburn's first ever runs recorded on his debut. Just gets past Henchy with a bit of dodgy ground there. Helps Milburn get the ball to the boundary. as it bounces up a bit, and Henchy can't get to it. That's a horrible ball from Henchy. Full toss, and Milburn will run through for the single. 4-1 to start off the over. The West Indies 0 for 5 off 4 balls. Not a bad start for Milburn. Hasn't lost a wicket yet, but also not a bad start for Henchy with the 2 dots as well. And that'll be a dot ball. Just couldn't get the areas he wanted to. Milburn at the crease there. Probably would have liked it to hit it, obviously, a bit more down the ground than just that little chip off the bat. Last ball of the over. Straight to Henchy. Can he get there and miss fields? Absolutely horrible fielding from Henchy. And it'll record another 4 for Milburn. So, not a bad over for Matty to start off the batting innings for the West Indies. As you can see there, Henchy not happy with himself as it just gets past him. Oh, and a bit of an interesting delivery and an interesting batting style from Milburn as well. Just trying to play defensive, but doesn't want to do too many stupid plays, as that is absolutely smoked to the boundary. Milburn, look at that. He's looking good early. Milburn hasn't lost a wicket yet and is getting the runs in quite frequently as well. So 0 for 13 off 1.2 is Milburn, and he charges, and that's going to be the first major of this test of the innings. Milburn records his first 6 on debut and also the first 6 for the game. Great start for Matty at the crease and the West Indies as well. Looking to be quite a good matchup between these two. Henchy to Milburn. Great delivery, and gets through him. Gets his man. That's exactly what Henchy needed to get that early wicket, as the runs were starting to flow through for the West Indies as we listen to the sounds of the game. And she absolutely loved that one as he just collects the top of off. And Milburn, well, first wicket down, obviously 10 wickets in hand, and the 20 over match style. So Henchy and Milburn quite similar at the moment. Just gets under the bat is Henchy, and Milburn's having absolutely none of it after the wicket. So he'll attack the ball, and it'll go towards the boundary. 1 for 23 off 2. Obviously, there hasn't been 6 balls this over. There is a bit of miscalculations on ground level, so the scoreboard will just show, obviously, what we were recording the scores at ground level. A bit wide from Henchy there, just gets on the other side of Milburn, however, not called a wide, so pretty picture-perfect delivery. It's a good area to be bowling, and that one is also going to be called a dot, so good areas from Henchy. Not getting the extras on the board for the West Indies, and also some good deliveries. And Milburn, is that a nick? Jeez, I thought I heard something up here in the box. Looking down, and we do have Snicko behind the cam, and we can see there is a big edge. Not out, no reviews, and it has been snicked. There was quite clearly an edge on that, so Milburn gets away with a lucky call, and he'll just pick up the single there. So unlucky for Henchy not to get another wicket early on, because there was most certainly an edge on Snicko, as Henchy was keen to appeal and just had to take the word of the batsman saying that there was absolutely nothing in it, when there certainly bloody was. Milburn 1 for 24. Decent over for Henchy. Only 1 run from it. And that's a great strike down the ground from Milburn. He'll pick up the boundary. So on debut, he shows absolutely 0 signs of any nervousness, and is getting straight into the kick of things. Obviously, should be 2 wickets down, but considering the scoring and the way this is played, he's 1 for 28. That's going to be another dot to Henchy's name. So Henchy with a fair bit of dots so far, and that's just a stupid delivery, honestly. He could have absolutely smacked that if he wanted to, Milburn. Bounces straight up to him. Bit of a hard one maybe to predict, but with the 3rd over done and dusted, the West Indies are 1 for 28. Milburn looking quite comfortable at the crease, and Henchy will just save that one with his foot. Doesn't bother getting down to it, so saves it with his foot. So save a boundary, and that looks pretty plumb. as Henchy appeals but then questions it. However, it's been given the wicket. It has been given the wicket as we look at some sources of replay. It is in line. It bounces in line. The impact is in line. But the off-spinner in Henchy, is that going way down leg? It looks to be. However, it's been given out at both ends of the ground. Both the batsman and the bowler do agree. Front foot is good. Some slow motion here as we get into it. Obviously, no bat involved. Pitching in line. And the impact is going way down leg. As we can see the blue ball where it ends up behind the stump. So, look, horrible call, but Henchy is certainly going to be taking that, especially after the snick wasn't called a couple of overs ago. He'll certainly be taking that. So, Milburn strikes again after the wicket. He seems to be pretty good at that after he has a wicket lost. He's not happy about it, so he attacks the ball nicely and picks up another boundary to his name. 2 for 32 currently. No run from Milburn there, just playing nice and defensive. Hasn't let any dumb snicks through, apart from that one that wasn't paid to Henchy. And that gets straight through him, nearly a bloody edge on that. However, you can see there the pitch at the batter's end is not the greatest surface to be batting on, that is for sure. Henchy, that's a great delivery as it just rolls past Milburn. Absolutely no bounce on it whatsoever. So 3 dots from the over as we move into the 5th over. That is a shocking ball. He's bowled it on the brick somehow, Henchy, and so lucky for it not to be a no ball. It just gets to the batsman before the second bounce. But Matty takes advantage of it and will smack it for a 4. 2 for 36 or 4.1. Great delivery and digs up the pitch there as he strikes it straight back to the bowler. That's too full of delivery from Henchy. Not good areas you want to be bowling there, especially with Milburn on strike. Obviously the debutant. However, he is making himself known. He's making himself known early, and that is a great delivery from Henchy. He will pick up yet again another wicket. That spin and that bounce must have been so unpredictable, with also a bit of pace on it. Look at that bounce up, straight off the glove of Milburn. And that is going straight through to the auto keeper. Great delivery, but also the pitch working wonders in favour of Henchy's delivery. Just getting that little bit of extra bounce. Obviously, Henchy put the spin on it, provided the spin. And Jesus, Milburn has absolutely smacked that. And it's named another wicket, which means the West Indies are 4 for 36. Which means this is a hat-trick ball. You wouldn't believe it. It's a hat-trick ball. Here at the RCG. What can Henchy do? Gets through him. Is there an edge?
No way.
Quite very nearly. But no, says the batsman. Oh, would have been bloody close. But the batsman says absolutely no chance, Henchy. There is no bat on that whatsoever. And that's been smoked. Will it be a dot or a 6? It's a 6. So Milburn really making himself known at the crease. And although he's lost the 4 wickets, he's still getting these boundaries quite frequently. Getting the 4s, getting the 6s. He's got the runs that he needs. However, with the amount of wickets fallen already, probably not the innings he would have hoped to start off with. Dot ball from that delivery from Henchy has been pretty decent, and that looks great. That looks great. It's been given the wicket, 5 for 42. And, geez, the West Indies don't agree on it, and the DRS timer is up. And the West Indies review. So, 2 reviews each. However, you've got to just take the name for it if there is a wicket. So, the wicket will stand. However, it'll be a review anyway, nonetheless. Front foot's good. Original decision's out. Oh, is it a bit high? It looks like it's a good height of a delivery. But once again, is it going down leg? Some interesting answers need to be... Some interesting questions need to be answered here, as Milburn could maybe get robbed of yet again another LBW controversial decision. As we go to slow-mo, and it is way out. And you can see the impact there. And just bouncing up past the wicket. So the wickets are missing yet again. Unfortunately, the West Indies have lost another one due to a controversial, very, very controversial decision. 5 for 42. Oh, nearly gets back to the keeper. However, just gets the bounce before it hits the back of the net. Henchy bounces back in. Will it be a wide? I'm not sure. I think that'll be called, and it will be called. So 5 for 42 off 6 other West Indies. Henchy with some brilliant bowling displays, but also Milburn with some pretty unlucky decisions in the end made from the umps. As we start the 7th over, Milburn wants to attack it, and Henchy gets under that one. Brilliant bowl. However, doesn't judge it correctly and misses leg stump. Milburn plays defensive. Just wants to tidy some things up. Doesn't want to lose any more early wickets. As he is 5 for 42. Not even halfway through. 3 dots to start the over. Not bad for Henchy. And that's straight up in the sky. And just over the cam at the bowler's end. And that is, well, a great strike. And it'll be named 6. Look at that, straight down the ground. The camera down there nearly gets struck. However, needs that after starting off the over with 3 dots. And as Henchy saved it with his foot again, he most certainly has. He's a great fielder by foot, Henchy. Stopped a couple boundaries with his foot. That's straight up in the sky. We'll pick up a single from a Milburn. However, Henchy couldn't get there in time. And that's going to be a dot ball to finish the 7th over. 7 overs down. 5 for 48 are the West Indies. Henchy, not a bad delivery. Not a bad area, but Milburn tidies things up. Sweeps it away. Oh, nearly an edge there from Milburn at the crease. Oh, that was close. So close to hitting off stump as well, which Henchy has been loving this game. Obviously, the first wicket recorded by hitting that leg stump. Straight up in the sky. It'll be a dot ball. Henchy with 2 dots to start the over, so Milburn needs to get things ticking soon, and that
wide.
Looks to be a wide. However, dot ball it is. Oh, great shot from Milburn, as it was a bit of an unpredicted delivery, and Milburn will pick up the 50 runs for the West Indies. 5 for 53. Obviously, how many wickets down he would certainly want to change at this stage of the match, not being halfway through, but he's picked up the 50 runs, and if he just plays these shots a bit more carefully, just like that, absolutely superb batting. 6 recorded for Milburn as he gets his runs up. So at the start of next game, he can have some stats for some pre-game entertainment before we get things underway. That is certainly wide by Henchy, however, bounces back in quite nicely. However, it'll be recorded a wide. 5 for 60. 1 ball to come. And lucky boundary there for Milburn. The short boundary, he packs it away too. And the pitch there at the batter's POV isn't looking too great. Obviously going to benefit the bowler with some unpredictable bouncing, which we have already seen in this match. Henchy, too full of a delivery. Jeez, maybe a perfect length for delivery, actually. Puts a bit of flight on it. And look at that. Milburn thinks he's going to smack it away in the full toss, but a bit of spin on the ball and gets under the batsman. Gets past the batsman. Oh, God, that was close to a 4. Henchy says, absolutely not, mate. Milburn, a bit suspicious. on the decision. However, it'll stand as a dot. Bounces back into play. However, that is a beautiful strike from Milburn, as he's just ticking away at these runs now at the crease. Hasn't lost a wicket for a little bit, which is what he needs. He needs no wickets lost for a while. And he certainly needs to get his runs up as well. .4 to start off this over. Henshey to deliver. Great strike. And it's caught. There was a bit of pace on it. Henshey's absolutely keen. He loves it. And Milburn, look at that. A bit of pace on it. However, Henshey gets the hands back in time. And will collect the catch. 6 for 68. Dot ball there for Milburn. Not a bad over for Henshey. 3 dots and a wicket. Also the 4 in there as well. And that'll be called... I think that's a dot as well. Beautiful bowling from Henshey. Getting the right deliveries, the right areas. Everything you want from a bowler's POV. And that is just way too short of a delivery. That's been smacked for 6 for Milburn. 6 for 74 off 9.1 overs. Henshey was, good to get that catch last over. Because Milburn is obviously getting a bit more comfortable at the crease, taking away the runs. Is there an edge? There is. There is an edge. And Milburn departs once again. 7 for 74. Henshey loved it. He appeals. And Milburn throws his head back and says, absolutely, there was a snick on that. What am I doing? 6 and a wicket from this over. And Milburn once again smacks a 4 after a wicket. So possibly stat of the day. I'm pretty sure Milburn has struck 3 or 4 fours after a wicket has taken place for his side. So the wicket's certainly fueling him, and he's just going absolutely bang now. Milburn. That's another 6. 2 6s from the over. 6 wicket, 4 6. It's just absolutely insane. 16 from the over alone. And gets past him, Henshey, with a beautiful delivery. As we take a look at the replay behind the wicket. Look at that. Oh, so close to hitting the bail off. So close. A little bit less power, a little bit slower. However, a great delivery from Henshey. And Milburn smacks it away. However, it'll be a dot from it. 6 wicket, 4 6. Wicket. Sorry, dot. From 10 overs down. As we go into a drinks break. 7 for 84. And Milburn, well, obviously he's got a lot of wickets down, but if we can just play it a bit safe and get the runs ticking along and just don't play any stupid shots, then he could be in the front seat. 7 for 84. Great shot. I was going to say grateful. Great plus beautiful. Gradable shot. And that is just curved into the boundary line. That's a beautiful strike from Milburn to record yet again another 6 to his name. And it'll be a dot there to follow up the 6. 7 for 90 is Milburn off 10.3. Henshey hanging in there. Some beautiful deliveries from Henshey. That's certainly not one of them. It'll be a 6. 2 6s from the over. 2 dots from the over for Henshey. Oh, that's straight to Henshey. And Milburn holds up the bat, holds up the hat, and he's recorded his first 100 on debut. Can you believe it? What a debut for Milburn. This over has been absolutely spectacular. That bounces back into play. It'll be a dot. 6, 6, and 4 the runs this over from Milburn. Oh! Great delivery from Henshey. Great areas. Bounces back in. Nearly clips the stump. Oh, so close. Henshey has been close with a lot of deliveries so far. Oh, straight to Henshey. Can he get there in time? No, he can't. However, Milburn decides to stay in his crease. Doesn't pick up a run. And that's a bit too full from Henshey and straight through the legs. And that'll be another 4. 7 for 100 and 4. As you can see, that one, Henchy can't get his hands under it. Pretty poor fielding, to say the least. 11.3 overs down. Henchy 7 for 104. Oh! Henchy thought about appealing, but let it go quite early as there was a bit of a gap in between bat and ball. However, maybe Snicko recorded something. But certainly not sure on that decision. Another dot. Henchy, absolute beautiful over if he just can't concede this ball. And he doesn't. 4 from the over. And 5 dots from that over. Can you believe that? That is absolutely superb batting. That's not what Milburn would be wanting.
Yeah, it's hard.
As we start the 13th over. He's been absolutely smoked. That'll be a 6 to start off this over. As Milburn
Yeah, that's right where I wanted it, actually.
gets a perfect delivery. As you heard him. Right where he wanted it. And stupid length from Henchy to bowl there. Oh, is there a bit of an edge on that? I thought I might have heard a bit of a nick. And that's a bit too full of delivery, which Milburn attacks perfectly. As you can see there, Henchy just tries to get under the bat. However, Milburn attacks and moves his body towards the ball and gets there before it bounces. So we'll pick up another boundary. And he tries to do it again. He waits for the bounce this time. He'll pick up another 4 as it bounces just before the boundary. 12.4 overs down. Very good over for Milburn so far. Only conceding the 1 dot. And with 6 for 4 to his name, he'll certainly be taking it. A bit of a high ball from Henchy. Probably a bit wide. However, not called. And Milburn just gets the edge on it. It'll be another dot. So Henchy, few dots to finish the over. Straight up to him. Can he catch it? No, he can't. And, well, camera it. The bowler's end has been struck. Jeez, Milburn's having none of it. He says, turn off the bloody cameras. I'm getting absolutely humiliated with 7 wickets gone. Just turn off the camera, as Henchy. Well, I reckon if the camera wasn't in the way, Henchy could have been able to jump to the boundary and juggle it over for a wicket, but Milburn will pick up a 6 from it. A dot there. Milburn plays defensive there. Tries to attack it, but the bounce gets to him. 6 dot for this over. And Milburn, beautiful precision in that strike. He'll pick up another boundary to his name. Milburn, 7 for 128, the West Indies. Oh, straight to Henchy. There was absolutely no dropping that. Perfect delivery, perfect area where Henchy would want to be bowling just so he can get exactly that catch. Great delivery, right at the bottom of the bat, forcing the batter to either leave it and hit the stumps or for the batter to hit it straight back to the bowler and get the wicket, which was the result. 8 for 128. Great shot from Milburn. Gets past Henchy. Once again, Henchy falling on the ground a few times. Now with some boundaries. Milburn, no run. Oh, interesting ball. Milburn looks like he's hurt his ankle there. 8 for 132. How is that? No edge on it. Bloody close to an edge. Henchy was debating the appeal. 8 for 132. Good over for Henchy. That is, well, certainly not a good delivery. It'll be a wide. 8 for 133. 2 deliveries to come in this over. Milburn. Oh, looks like there's an edge on that. Jeez, I thought I heard an edge there, certainly. Oh, straight up to the, well, certainly not the place you want to be hitting the ball up to, that's for sure. As a bowler, you'll be taking it, you'll be laughing, but for a batter, you certainly don't want to be getting that delivery straight into the place you do not want it to be near. But Milburn backs up the iffy delivery straight to the crown jewels with a 4. Oh, that's up in the sky. It'll be recorded as a 6. So Milburn getting the runs underway and certainly not losing as many wickets as he was earlier. And that's going to be another wide for Henchy. So a few extras towards the end of the innings for Henchy, which obviously he will not be liking.
Got to get more runs.
Milburn at the crease. Henchy, good delivery. However, Milburn strokes that for a 4. Absolutely precise shot. And just ticks over the boundary line, as you can see there. Beautiful over. .4614. 2 to come in it. 8 for 148. Nearly at the 150 is Milburn. That'll be a dot. 150 would be huge on debut for Milburn, and that's exactly where he's going to get it. And he raises the bat as he records the 4. Turns to the GoPro at the stump and says, that one's for you. 8 for 152. Henchy just contemplating what ball he should go now just to reduce the runs, and that is certainly the way to go. First ball into this 16th over. Oh, Henchy. Just great areas to be bowling, especially when he's already conceded 150 runs. He's doing a great job at the bowler's end. And that one bounces up to Milburn before he can attack it, before it's hit on the full.
So good.
8 for 152. 3 dots from the over and goes absolutely bang. Milburn, another misfield yet again from Henchy, which he will be quite disappointed in. However, with 3 dots before that boundary, I think he'll be absolutely loving it. Oh, great delivery from Henchy. Gets past him with a bit of pace on it as well. Milburn, last ball of the over. That's absolutely smacked away. Pretty sure it's on the roof here. Is Henchy going to wait for it to come down? It'll be recorded a wicket.
No way.
However, Henchy still waits for it to come down, or is it going to get stuck in the gutter? It has been stuck in the gutter. Henchy not happy about it, although he got the wicket. Losing a very quality ball there as Milburn strikes it on top of the roof. And Henchy tries to get under it to try and get the juggle back into play. However, 1 more wicket in hand for Milburn. Is he going to try and pick up some runs? Or is he just going to try and play it safe, get to the end of the 20 overs, and hopefully just build up a bit more of an innings than he has now? 9 for 156. 17.2 overs complete. Great start for Henchy. He's been great on the dot balls today. He's been bowling some great areas. And as I say that is, well, questionable. Absolutely questionable, that bowling. At least he didn't do that in the YouTubers game. He did it once. His first delivery of his first over. However, backed it up with about 4 run-outs. And that is struck away beautifully by Milburn. He will collect a 6. 9 for 163. 17.3 overs complete. And Milburn building up in the innings. Only got 1 wicket in hand. Interested to see what he's going to do, and it looks like he's just going for runs at this stage. He knows he's only got 1 wicket left. He knows the overs are closing in on him. He'll pick up a 4. He's just wanting to collect these runs as fast as possible, as he's pretty much just trying to hit everything towards the boundary, including the ones that probably benefit you more if you just leave them like that, and that would have been called a wide. However, he's hit it. That is 18 overs down into the 19th.
I'm going to get it.
9 for 167. Oh, jeez, that's going to be called a wide. Or maybe not. Pitcher's in line. Milburn. Jeez, he's looking for the 6. However, it's on the opposite side of the boundary. As you can see there, as we get the replay. It needs to be on the right side of the pot. It's on the left side of the pot. So it just doesn't meet the requirements you need to be able to pick up a boundary. And that one certainly hurts Milburn, as you can see him in a bit of pain down at the crease. 9 for 167, 3 dots from this over. Henchy looking to finish it off very soon. And that could be it. That could be it. As Henchy with a great delivery, and it's been called a wicket. The West Indies have been bowled all out for 167, as you can see there. Just gets a bit too much flight on it. Milburn, a bit of speed on Henchy, resulting on even just a little tap from Milburn. resulting in it going over the fence and out. As we can see here, the first innings, Henchy bowled 18.4 overs, 167 runs conceded with 10 wickets to his name. The fall of wickets, 1, score 19, then it was 2 for 28, 3 for 36, 4 for 36 on a hat-trick ball, and the rest speaks for itself. 4 extras from the innings, and 167 is going to be the score to beat for Henchy coming into the next day. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned.